I'm Chris Thomas Hayes, and welcome to Virtual Puppeteer Bootcamp.
Hey guys. 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 Hey guys.
Yeah, like picture all of that, but like with like puppets in their hands. Can we do that? No? Okay. Well, that's probably fine. That's probably good enough. Hey Georgia Thespians, my name is Chris Thomas Hayes, and I'm an actor on TV, film, and theater.
Hey, what the hell's up with your teammate, man? We're feeling you with Rick.
It was 1953. I'm also a puppeteer for theater, film, and TV.
Now we're gonna hear from a guy who's truly cool and very fresh.
I'm from Hartford, Connecticut, born and raised. Growing up, I did a lot of performing arts. I did choir, I did theater, musical theater. And I decided that those things were so great that I wanted to do those in college. And I did. I went to the University of Hartford in Hartford, Connecticut, the Hart School of Music. And then later I went to Berea College in Berea, Kentucky. And in both of those schools, I studied acting, I studied drama, I studied performing arts. And that was also the place where I decided that puppetry would go from just a hobby to something I could make a career out of. And I did. After I left college, I toured with the Madcap Puppets in Cincinnati, Ohio, where I got to perform in front of thousands of people with these enormous giant puppets. I got a chance to work with the Center for Puppetry Arts in Atlanta, Georgia, one of the biggest organizations for puppetry in the world. And I got to work with Sesame Street. We all know that. That's the house that Jim built.
Sunny day, sweeping the clouds away.
Today, I'm still working with Sesame Street. I am the Muppet performer for Who's the Owl. I get to do voiceover and other cool projects, and I'm still getting a chance to do fleshy acting. I've been on Vampire Diaries and Teen Wolf and commercials, different fun things like that. But today, we're going to focus on puppetry, which I think will be great. So I'm going to start by asking questions that you may have. You might be asking yourself, what is a puppet?
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
A puppet is an object or a thing that is moved in a manner to give the illusion of it being alive. Now, we've always used puppets for thousands of years to tell a story. And today is no different. Puppeteers like Bert Tillstrom, Fred Rogers, Ronnie Burkett, Sherry Lewis, Bill Bayard, and even Jim Henson
Hello there. My name is Jim Henson.
have always used puppets to tell stories. And today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to learn some tips and tricks that we can use puppets to tell stories. Nice. Cool. So before we get started, you're going to need a couple of things. First, you need a way to see yourself. Now, on film sets and TV sets, puppeteers use monitors like so. That way we can see what we're doing live. Put my hand up. Oh, there I go. I can see myself. Now, the thing to realize about monitors is that they're flipped. So when I turn my hand to the right, it's looking to the left. And that's very important. That's the way that they do it on TV and film sets here in America. You can achieve the same effect by taking your camera or camcorder and hooking it up to a small monitor like this, a bigger desktop computer monitor, or even a TV.
I love this TV.
All those things. If you don't have a camera or a camcorder, you can use your phone. There are some apps that'll let you flip the image, and then you'll be practicing just like puppeteers on film and TV.
I'm a professional. Yeah!
If you don't have either of those things, don't worry. You can always use a mirror. Now, the mirror will not flip, but it'll still be great to get the kind of technique and practices that puppeteers use. And you'll be able to do all the things that we do in this video right at home with just a mirror. Now, there's one other thing you're gonna need. You're gonna need a puppet. So you can grab your puppet if you have one that you made or you have one that you bought from somewhere. It can be very fancy. It can have rods, it can have mouth plates, all that kind of good stuff. If you don't have anything like this, but you have maybe an older puppet, that'll work too. Yeah! It'll be a little bit different, but even the older puppets or the store-bought puppets that you found or you had in your house from a long time ago will work perfectly, and you can still do a lot of exercises that we do today with them. If you don't have either of those things, don't worry. I got you covered. I have a really easy, simple way to make a puppet that would that'll work for what we should do today. All right, and actually, let's get started with that. Let's see. So for those of you who don't have a puppet, we're going to make one right now. And it's going to be really simple. We're going to use these elastic bands. It's about 90 cents, $1. We'll use ping pong balls. We'll need those. Ping pong balls are about $1 or $2. And I have some furniture dots. These go on the bottom of your furniture legs. So when you're sliding around on your floor, you don't scratch it. You can find these in Home Depot or sometimes at Walmart. They're really neat about not only not scratching your hardwood floors, but also they come in different sizes and they look great for puppet eyes. I love them a lot. So what we're going to be doing is combining these three things to make our puppet. We'll use the elastic band to make something we can put our hand through, and then we'll put our ping pong balls on top with some glue, and then we'll use the furniture dots for our pupils. And if you don't have furniture dots or you can't find them anywhere, you're not able to get them, you can always just trace a circle and make them with Sharpies. The point is just to make something that you can use for this workshop in the practice after the workshop's over. All right, let's get to work. So there you have it. So we built a very, very cheap puppet. Now, it is not perfect. You see that I did it pretty fast. Without the time lapse, that was probably 3 or 4 minutes. That was just sped up there. You can kind of see like it's not perfect, but it will be good for doing what we need to do. If you want to take extra time with this, feel free. There are a lot of different things you can do with just an elastic band and some ping pong balls. So here you can kind of see that I've glued my ping pong balls together in the middle. Of course, you don't have to do that. And I've also kind of hot glued my elastic band to the bottom of my ping pongs. It's not perfectly centered, but it'll work for today and what we're going to do. The most important thing is the eye placement. And so as you can see, I want to make sure that the eyes can focus on different things. So in order to achieve that effect, I kind of made them close to the center. They almost look like a little cross-eyed, but you can see, boom, they focus pretty well. It'll do good for now. Now you can play around with these and you can master this technique of making these kind of practice puppets. And you can end up with something a little bit like that. This is something that another company, Brooklyn Puppet Company, the Puppet Conspiracy, made these. You can kind of see it's the same kind of idea. They've bonded the ping pongs together. These guys have slits that go through the ping pong, which is pretty cool in and of itself. And you can see on the back where they glued some hair to the top, and their eyes are cut out of different materials and stuck there. They have a little bit of little dots for a little style there. It looks great, but you know it does the same thing as you if you just get yourself some hot glue and a couple of stickers or even a Sharpie and make those dots there. And the good thing about this, you can see I got this done. I have a lot of stuff left over. Honestly, if I really wanted to, with all these different things, I could probably get, well, at least 1, 2, 3, 4. I can probably do 4 puppets with all these, and I've only spent $4. So that really breaks down to about $1 a puppet, maybe a little bit more than that. So this is great. All right, it's time to get to work. All right, so now we have our puppet ready, and we're ready to do a couple exercises. I hope you're stretched and ready to go. So I'm going to do these 3 different times. I'm going to do them with our puppets that we just made, if you had a chance to make one. I'm going to do them with one of my puppets, so you can kind of see how it looks. And I'll also do it with just my hands. So if you didn't have a chance to make a puppet, or you don't have the supplies or whatnot, or you're in the middle of nowhere, you can also use your hand, and that should fit in quite well. A couple of things when putting up your hand to do these exercises. You'll use the one that you write with, or the one that you are most dominant with. So if you are left-handed, just flip everything and do it with your left hand. I'm going to be doing this stuff with my right hand because I'm right-handed. Although there are some puppeteers who are ambidextrous. All right, let's get started. All right, so we're going to get started. The first thing we're going to do is lip sync. Everyone knows about lip sync. Well, if you've seen a puppet show, you kind of know what they do. You know that when the puppeteer talks, whether they're right beside them or below them, the puppet's mouth opens and closes. So that's what we're going to work on first. I'm gonna go way up here. Now you'll be able to see me on the monitor. Perfect. The first thing about lip sync, one, my hand. See how my hand is kind of relaxed? It's not more like a duck. Like a lot of people do puppets like this. And they flatten their hands out. That's not really comfortable. You feel like a lot of tension all up in here and over here. And so really I'm just gonna relax my fingers. Also, you can kind of see where my thumb is. My thumb is kind of touching my middle finger. Everything's kind of resting. It's very relaxed. And matter of fact, while I keep my hand above my head, I'm going to be very, very relaxed, because the more relaxed I am up here and the more easier I am up here, the longer I'll be able to keep my hand up. If I start tensing up and really flexing a lot of the muscles in that arm, it's going to wear me out really fast. First things first, when we talk about lip syncing, like we said, our mouths are going to open and close and push out different syllables. And syllables, as you know, they're the sounds that come out of our mouth when we say different words. So different words have a different amounts of syllables. So when I talk, and I'll say now I'll do the, what do I do? What should I do? Oh, I'll do the ABCs. I'll do the ABCs. So when I'm doing the ABCs, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. The main thing that's moving, you'll see a little moving out here, but it doesn't have to. The main thing that's going to move is my bottom thumb. That's mainly it. Honestly, if I can keep it perfectly still, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Yeah, we want that bottom thumb to move. We're not going to move the whole hand. And when we get into looking around and focusing with our eyes, you'll see that moving the whole hand is not the best thing to do. For these next exercises, we're going to work on just lowering that thumb. The thumb is that jaw. If you think about this puppet as being a whole body, the thumb is going to be the lower jaw. So we're going to focus on just lowering the lower jaw, boom, 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 as we talk, keeping everything else steady. I'm going to do it 3 different ways. I'm going to do it with my hand. I'll do my hand for those who aren't able to make a puppet with our other video that we just showed you how to make one really quickly. If you don't have the materials or weren't able to get to the store, just use your hand. Use your hand, learn the different kind of exercises, and then when you have time to go to the store, or if you just like just doing it without a puppet on, that's fine. I'll do it a different way. I'll do it also with the puppets we just made. I'll probably pick this guy. I look at this guy a lot. But these are ones we just made, and I showed you how to make them really cheaply and really quickly. So I'll do the exercise with these guys, and I'll also do the exercises with my puppet so that you can kind of see how it looks when you put everything together and you get a furry little puppet up on the screen. Cool. So that's what we'll do next. We're going to count to 11. Yeah, we'll count to 11. All right, so first up, I'm going to use ping pong balls. Let's get these guys up here. Cool. And like I said, you can do this in a mirror. You can do this if you have any phone or camera hookup. That's perfect. Or honestly, if you have nothing, it's probably fine too. This is a good little skill. If you don't have anything at all, you can always just look at your puppet. Looking at your puppet with your eyes is a good way to learn these skills and get adjusted. So there's no excuse to not be able to do these kind of exercises. So we're going to count to 11. We'll count all the way up to 11, and we'll count back down we'll start at 0, from 0 to 11, and back from 11 to 0. So a couple things. Just remember how many times our mouth is going to open and close. And when we open and close our mouth, we're really just going to drop that jaw. So here we go. 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There you go. And we'll go back down. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Hopefully I didn't forget any. All right, so those things you notice when we said words like 1, 2, 3, 4, those are the single openings. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Words like 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. That's 2 times. words like 11, that's 3 syllables. You'll open your mouth 3 times. 11, 11. Cool. Yeah. All right, so now we've done it with the ping pong balls. Here, I'll do it with nothing now. So you kind of still see, even if I don't have the ping pong balls, it's the same basic idea. I'll keep my hands like this. I'm very, very relaxed. I'm just dropping my my lower jaw, or like my thumb. It's the only thing moving. Now you will see the top of your hand move a little bit too. Naturally, it moves a little bit. You can always, when you start off, you can always put the other hand over to kind of further reinforce the idea that this top part doesn't really do the moving. That's a good little idea to do. And then after a while, you just get used to letting that bottom thumb do all the work. All right, cool. So we're going to do, shake my hand out. We're going to do from 0 to 11 and from 11 to 0 with now no hand. So if you have your puppet on, you don't have to take your puppet off, or if you have ping pong balls, whatever, you'll just get a chance to do this exercise 3 times. This is really cool. All right, so 0 to 11, here we go. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Cool. And 11 to 0. Here we go. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep. All very, very relaxed. Especially when it's up here. Even if it's down by you, it's still very, very relaxed. That is 0 to 11. So let's do it one more time. This time I'm going to put a puppet on. You'll see how different it is. All right, so now we're going to try it with the puppet. We'll see how it looks. We'll see how different things I did when I had nothing on my hand change when I have a puppet on my hand. All right, here I go. I'll put them into frame up here. So first things first, I'm going to make my hand look like the little duck hand. I'm going to flatten my hand out as much as possible. I'm going to kind of tense up, put a lot of tenseness in this. You can kind of see how it affects the puppet a little bit, but there's no reason for me to tense my hand up this much, because it's only going to impede my performance. So now I'm going to relax a lot. I'm going to relax my hand like we did. And so automatically, you can tell a little bit in the puppet how when my hand's relaxed, he sits a little differently, and he has a little bit of more bounce to him. So like I was saying before, we're going to count to 11, just like we did before, only moving that bottom jaw. And that's the bottom jaw down here. That's his bottom jaw. When I move that thing on the syllables, it's going to change things. And the number one way it's going to change things is that it's not going to make my character's head bounce. If I was to move my hand, and I'll put my other hand up, if I was to move my hand like that with the puppet on it, you'll see what happens when I have the puppet. Watch this eye focus and watch what his head does. That is insane. Imagine talking to an audience or a person, and it's doing that the entire time. How crazy that would look. Instead, I'm just going to drop the bottom jaw. And when I drop the bottom jaw, you'll notice that the eye focus kind of stays in a place where you can actually tell what he's looking at. You can tell if he's looking into the camera. And even though the top does move a little bit, it's not going to move nearly as much as if I was flapping my hands and doing kind of this kind of trash can lid. All right, so let's do it. Here we go. We're going to count from 0 to 11 and back down. And if you do not have a puppet, or you have a different puppet, this is the perfect chance to do this exercise for a third time. This will be our third time. Here we go. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like I said before, we have quick numbers, 1, 2, 3. We have some that are 2 syllables, 7. We have some that are 3, 11. And all those are very, very different. Now, the thing you can play around with if you feel like you've mastered this are opening, you can open your mouth different sizes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And so playing around with 11, 11, 11, 11. Those things all make the difference when you're actually working with your puppet. So we did our exercises. We counted from 0 to 11 and back down. This is how basic lip sync works. Now, whether you have your puppet or not, there's still some other things you can do with lip sync. Lip sync goes a long, long way, and it's honestly one of the things that you shouldn't even be thinking about a ton when you're performing. It should be in the back of your head, which is why we're doing it first. So we have our numbers. We can do letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. We have nursery rhymes. We know those. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. All of those different things you can do with your puppet. They're great things to help you practice and get used to doing lip sync. And we'll talk about some other stuff later, some other exercises you can do later that'll help you with lip sync and different kind of performance skills. And that's lip sync. Now, before we recap about what we just did, let's look at some more examples of lip sync with the professionals.
I am Barack Obama. I can have whatever I want for dinner.
Hi! Telly Monster here to tell you all about the letter D.
Hello.
Elmo's going to show you a letter. But you better look quickly, because Elmo will show it to you very quickly.
Very nice. Now, the things to remember after watching those videos and doing the exercise that we just did. One, we want our hand to be really, really comfortable while we're up there. We don't want to stress or to put our hand in a weird position. Two, when we get around to actually doing the lip sync, we're just gonna drop our thumb. Our thumb, or the puppet's lower jaw, will do most of the movement when the puppet is talking. The top of the hand will try to remain as still as possible, even though it may move a little bit. We're gonna really focus on pushing out the syllables with our bottom thumb. And of course, if you want to practice any of the things that we did, you can always rewind the video or pause the video. We would take notes about what we did. It's a great idea, actually. And then you can go back and try those exercises later. You can do them with numbers, you can do them with nursery rhymes, you can do them with letters, or any other song lyrics or things that you know. And we'll get into even more of that later down the road. All right, let's move on to the next section. Eye focus. Now, eye focus helps tell the audience where to place their attention and what is important. Sometimes your puppet is looking at another character. Sometimes your puppet is looking at a prop. Sometimes your puppet is looking at the audience. Having good eye focus lets the audience know what's important and where to look.
I mean, look at me, come on!
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me! Look at me!
So we're going to do a couple exercises right now to work on your eye focus. Let's get to it. Now let's get ready to do some eye focus exercises. So if you have your monitor hooked up to a camcorder or a camera, this will be perfect. Now keep in mind that images are going to be flipped. So when we start doing this, it's going to be kind of disoriented, but we'll get used to it and we'll learn how to put proper eye focus into our puppets. If you're not using a monitor, you're just using a mirror or using just your hand, it's going to be a little bit different, but we'll still be able to do the same activities. All right, here we go. So the first thing we want to do is we want to try to find a place where the puppet is looking directly into the camera. And you'll know this because if you're looking at your monitor, and honestly, if you're looking into a mirror, if you're using the mirror, this will be the place and the point where the puppet is looking right back into your eyes. If you know what that feeling is to have the puppet look into your eyes, you'll be able to find where that character looks directly into the camera. So as you can already tell, everything is backwards if you have hooked your camcorder or camera up to your monitor. So obviously find that place where the puppet looks directly into the camera. It may take some time. You may find yourself fishing a little bit. That's absolutely okay. But once you do it, you can tell it's not there. Not quite there. Where is it? Oop. There it is. Once you actually get it to where it's supposed to be, you can tell automatically that your puppet is looking right down the barrel of the camera. So once you find that place, and once you feel like you're doing it, or you've done it correctly, move your hand down. Put your hand down, put it back up, and see if you can do it again from start. Moving around, moving your eyes around, trying to figure out where it is, and then adjusting so that your character is looking right into the camera and is connecting with you. Everyone knows that feeling of when somebody is looking directly in your eyes. This is no different. So another fun thing to do is once you have this done, you can pop your hands up and down, up and down, up and down. See how fast you can find that focus again. So I'll try it a couple times here. You can try with me too if you're trying this at home. Oop. 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 There we go. Each time I am I'm popping it up. I'm put it in different places. It'd be nice if you can just put it in different places and not directly in the middle, and try to figure out how to find that focus, that place where the puppet is looking directly into the camera. Ooh, you can see when I pop them up sometimes, I put them up and then I have to adjust this a little bit. That's perfect. So once you feel like you have this, it's time to take it to the next level. Now we'll see if we can look at the different corners of the screen. So let's see, here we go. So we'll get them up again. So now I'm gonna start, I'll start on the, let's see, how about the top left? Let's see what that's gonna look like. So when I turn my head, obviously I gotta know which way I'm looking when I turn to the left, camera left, but it's my right. I've turned my head, my puppet head obviously, to look in that top right corner in my room, but it's gonna look like I'm looking at the top left of the camera and on the screen. Also notice, look at my eyes. You can see both of my pupils there. That's kind of what I want. I don't want to lose them. So if I turn a little bit more, you would see that I start to lose my pupils. And sometimes, sometimes you're going specifically for that look, but most of the time we want to leave it to a place where we can see both pupils. So if I feel like I have that, and I know sometimes it might be hard to fish around, I can also do the same exercise where I pop my puppet up and then try to look in that same place. But once I have it, now it's time to try another corner. So let's try it down. That'll be nice and easy. Once again, we're looking down to this bottom corner down here. I have both of my pupils visible. I don't want to turn too much and lose my pupils. Both my pupils are visible. And I can still do that same thing when I'm popping up and looking in that same area. Nope. Oop. And a lot of this is just going to be adjusting and figuring out how it is and what it looks like. And that's okay. Now, when I turn the other way, I'm going to have to turn my body. So my whole body is going to change a little bit because obviously you can see your hand's going to go only so far each way. And it's okay to turn your body down here if it helps you up there. So I have my body. Now I'm going to shift this way. I'm going to be able to do the other two corners. Just a little bit. I'm just turning my body a little bit. So I'm looking at that bottom left corner now. These ones are a little bit harder. Yeah. And I know sometimes you'll be fishing around trying to figure out where you are. Oh, but there it is, right down on the bottom. While you're at home, you're going to kind of have to be in charge of knowing what looks right. And so if you can see that your puppet's looking down that bottom corner, you got it. Here, now look at the top. Another great thing that you can do is if you have a friend with you, they can always call out corner numbers. You can look randomly around and they can tell you a number: 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1. Oh, I messed up my numbers. But anything to get your mind going and make you have to think on your feet about where you're looking works really well. So if you don't have a monitor to look at and you're just using a mirror or nothing at all, another great thing to do is to use your puppet. Think of things in the room or look at things in the room and try to point your hands so that your puppet is looking at the thing in the room. And the best thing about your eyes as opposed to the monitors, your eyes can move around and your head can move around. So you can kind of look at your puppet and see if they're looking at the things in your room that are around you right now. That's a great thing. Honestly, you may not even need a mirror for this part. A mirror works really great for the part where you're looking and trying to figure out if your puppet is looking directly at you. But honestly, the things in your room would be really good to practice different focus. So I can find maybe that hat up there. I can look and see my puppet is looking at the hat and see how it looks. Everything in puppetry, remember, is an illusion. So it's an illusion of looking. It's an illusion of being alive.
I'm alive!
Yes!
All right, so let's switch to an actual puppet this time. So if you have your puppet on screen, like I do right here, you can tell things are still flipped. So it's going to be a little bit different, but not too much. The things that we did when we had our ping pong balls were just as well when we have our actual puppet. So we'll start by trying to figure out where our puppet is looking directly into the camera. So we'll look at that place where our puppet's eyes meet. It feels like it's about there, maybe a little bit. Yeah, that looks about right. And we'll do the same kind of activities. We'll try to see. And then we'll break it up and then we'll try to see again. Perfect. And sometimes you'll look around, you'll try to fish, and that's absolutely okay. We'll just try to figure out that place where he's looking right at us. And then remember your other exercise, you can go down and come up, and go down and come up, go down and come up, and go down and come up. An important thing to do when you do these exercises is that you don't necessarily go down again until you feel like you have it. So if I go down and I'm not quite right, then I'll make sure that I have it before I go down again. I'm gonna I'll do a couple examples. There you go, see? So if I count like that, and then sometimes if you get it correctly, you just go down immediately. Here's another exercise with a puppet now. So I'm looking straight in. I'll try to look up. Notice I'm not losing the pupils. The pupils are little black dots. I'm keeping them in there. I'm turning my head a little bit, but enough so that looks like he's looking right up in that left corner. You see both the pupils. Same thing when I go down. That's pretty cool. Yeah, all right, look at that. And when I go up there, whoa, wow, look at that. That is pretty. Nice, looking good up there. And come down here, wow. Look at that. Hey, it's a corner. Nice. Now try to find center again. Oh, I think I found you. Nice. And the same thing goes with this one. You can always try to switch it up and look at different corners and then try to adjust. Cool. So another really cool thing to do. So I made those puppets and you guys watched me. I actually had one ping pong ball left over. And I'll see if I can do this exercise on camera, okay? It looks like it's gonna work. I had a ping pong and a stick. And this thing works perfect, especially if you have a buddy, but you can also do it by yourself. And what I'll do, as I'll see, is I'll raise my little ping pong ball up here to move around. So if you have your puppet, this can work on monitor or even in your home. It works a lot easier with a friend. You can move that. You can move your ping pong ball around and play around with focus. This is a cool tool to have. obviously I know where I'm going, so it's not so hard. But if you had a friend doing this on the camera or even around your room, just walking around with a ball, it would really help work on your focus. Your friend can move it around the room, and then you can practice trying to find where that ball is with your puppet's eyes. It's another really cool tool. Some people do a lot better. I just found a stick and I had a ping pong ball left over from when I made those puppets, and just poked a little hole and shoved the stick in, and it works just perfect to work on the eye focus. So those different things. So let's watch how the professionals do eye focus.
Wow, look at that. Boy, that is a delicious looking apple.
We'll get Cookie down. Ha ha. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And by law, I have to disclose that there's a tree in the living room. Whoa! Wow! Oh my God, Big Mean Carla, there's a tree in the living room. Yeah.
Hey, guy. How you doing? Did you miss me?
Very nice. So, things to remember about eye focus. One, eye focus tells the audience where to put the attention. You want to make sure when you're using it with your puppet that you can see where that puppet is looking. Sometimes if you're using a monitor, you can very well see because you'll see your performance live. If you're not, you can move your head around and kind of get a gauge of where your puppet should be looking or how much your puppet's head should be tilted in order to make it look like they're looking at those points in your room. Of course, when you do puppet shows, you won't be able to put your head around there in front of the audience, but it was really good for rehearsing and learning eye focus. All right, well, I guess it's time for the next thing, putting those two things together and seeing if we can do some more cool stuff. Walking and running are really good ways for a puppet to get around. You can enter a scene, you can exit a scene, you can move around a scene. So let's practice walking and running with a couple exercises. All right, so this is pretty simple. I'm going to start with just a ping pong, which you really don't even need. So this is my character. And when they're walking, as you can see, I'm really just doing a little bounce on my elbow. If I'm treating the elbow like they're my feet, my puppet's feet, then I'm going to be walking on that floor. You kind of tell my character is bouncing all around because I'm looking at my actual elbow that you guys can see right here. It's kind of moving up and down and bouncing on the thing. Now, the puppet is really cool because depending on how I bounce, it tells you how big or small a character. Very small bounces or very quick bounces could be a very small character. Very big bounces can be a big character. But whatever you have it, that bouncing right there, that's how your character's gonna walk. So right now it's walking forward. Now, if you combine that with moving in a direction, now you got something interesting. So my character can walk on or off, or different ways this way too. You can walk that way, or you can walk onto the thing. So that little bounce combined with moving your puppet in a direction worked really well for traveling with your characters. Now, here's a cool activity you can try. Stop for a second. Whew, thanks. Now, the cool activity to try is see if you can get your character directly in the center of the frame. Think so? Let's try it. So, you start with your bounce, you walk off, and see if you can walk your character onto screen. This is a lot harder than it looks. Let's see if I can even do it right now. Not bad. This is a great thing to practice. I'm leaning back, and I'm leaning forward, and I'm doing that little bounce. You can kind of think about his feet moving in and out. This is a really good activity. Now, if you don't have a monitor and you're just working with yourself, this is perfect because when we're on set, on TV and film, sometimes we have to do our little walk all over the place. And this is a perfect moment to get your walk down and move physically through the space that you're doing your puppets in right now. And that'll be really good because then you can practice with actual movement around. You can set up an obstacle course or set some chairs in the way, or even just try to walk around your entire house doing that same little bounce. And that'll be just how we do it on TV and film. Sometimes, even though we have monitors, we have to navigate different spaces. But anyway, that's how your puppet can walk. Cool. So let's watch the pros do it. Let's watch a couple examples of walking, running in and off a frame.
This is far. This is near.
When I get that urge to run, I'm just like a kid again.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go change the world.
Very nice. So, things to remember. When you're walking, you're making little bounce moves. It's almost like the piston in the car. It's going up and down. You want to combine that with a direction, and that'll get your character moving on or off screen. Lastly, a really good thing to do is practice trying to get in different positions on the screen or in your home, wherever you're practicing. So maybe you want your character to enter right here. Or maybe you want your character to enter all the way there. Working on that little bounce and combining it with your characters will help a lot. So let's try that exercise again, this time with the puppet. So even though I have a puppet on my hand, as opposed to the ping pong balls or nothing at all, it's still the same motion. Here we go. Look at this. I know that it looks a little different because he actually has arms and arm rods, but it's the same thing. I'm making little bounces because he's a little guy, and I'll add that up with a direction, and I'll get that same walk. Now, the great thing about this is you can combine it with the stuff that we've already done, the eye focus. And so you can have your character walk in looking at something specifically. What is that? Wow. What is that? Whoa. And obviously, depending on where your character is and how close or far away he is walking from an object, changes how he looks at it. So that's walking and running to move through a space. All right, so what's next? So we've done a lot of great stuff. Now we're going to talk about emotion. Emotion is how we tell the audience how our character is feeling. As actors, we use emotion to tell a story. Think about all the different emotions you had as an actor. You've been happy. This is going pretty good. I think it's gonna be good. They're probably gonna like it, right? I think so. You've been sad. They're gonna hate this. They're gonna hate it. You may have been angry. Where's the puppet? Oh, come on, man. You may have even been, frightened. Hello? This place haunted? Those are all things that we can do with the puppet, because the puppet is essentially our actor. So we're going to put a lot of things through our body. We're going to combine the things that we've done before, and we're going to transfer that to the puppet so that they can tell a story through emotions. Okay, so for this exercise, I'm going to start with the puppet, and then I'll work backwards. So let's see what we can do. Different emotions. So we can do something like happy. He's happy, he's agreeable, I can nod. Yeah. If I open the mouth a little bit and lean forward, it looks like a smile, which is, we do that a lot. Everything is peppy and bouncy. Yeah. Even his walk. Sad is a little different. For sad, I'll turn his arms around. Sad is a little different. For sad, everything will be down. You can feel the weight pulling him down. Little movements. Even the walk will be slower. Angry. Sometimes when we're angry, everything will be a little tense. Usually we haven't been tense, but this one can be tense. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, frightened. What's going on? I can shake a little bit. Hello? Go to the next one. Now let's try those again, but now without any puppet, just my hand. With ping pong balls, of course. Without a puppet, you can see, happy looks a little bit the same. You still get the point across. I got my hand open now like that. It's still bouncy. Sad. Angry. Yeah. 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 Frightened. Let's see how some of the professionals do emotions.
Sad? Yeah. Sad? No, I am not sad. I am angry, Elmo. I am angry. I just missed the bus to the International Paperclip Lovers Convention, and now I have to walk.
Why didn't you laugh when I told you a funny joke or tickled you?
Well, Elmo didn't laugh because Elmo was feeling very sad.
This is not Gizmo. You have to go back.
The important thing to remember about emotions is that when it comes to puppets, different puppets are going to give different looks. So as a puppeteer, your job is to basically get your puppet and figure out what it can do. There are things that it'll do very well and things that it won't do so well. So hopefully, with doing techniques like this and practice exercises like we're doing now, it'll shorten the amount of time that it takes for you to get your hands on the puppet and really test it out and see what it can do. But it all starts with emotion, and emotion helps tell those stories. So the faster you can get in your puppet and explore what kind of emotions it can have, the faster you can tell stories with your puppet, because you're acting. Now, whether you have a puppet or not, there are a lot of other cool exercises you can do. I suggest lip syncing. You put on your monitor or you get your mirror and you can pick a song that you know very, very well, and you can lip sync to that song. You can use everything that we learned today. You can move your lip sync big or it's very small. You can work on eye focus on where to sing that song to and who to sing that song to. You can put movements in. You can even put emotion into the song while you're singing. The important thing is that you're going to be reinforcing everything that we talked about today. Puppets show up in theater, film, and television, and they're an important part of acting and theater in general. They've been around a lot longer than actually actors have been. We've been using puppets since almost the beginning of time. And we use them to tell stories. And it's a great way to dig into how we as actors tell stories and what we do with our bodies and what we do with our emotions. Puppets are a great thing, and hopefully this has been a little window into how professionals operate them. And hopefully you've got a lot of cool exercises out of doing this too. We can use the videos that are a part of this entire workshop to make yourself a little bit better. All right. Hopefully we'll see you guys in person next year. Thanks, Georgia Thescons. Bye.
Hey guys.